Texans, I don't even have the words, man. Texans lose to the Tennessee Titans in a game that, to be honest, they had no business winning this game. They had chances. They had a field goal that was missed by Kamari Fairbairn at the very end of the game, a gimme that he hooked left after he absolutely nailed the 50-plus yarder. C.J. Stroud threw multiple picks. He could have had more interceptions, to be honest. The defense, which is looked top 3 in the NFL, comes out and makes Will Levis and the Titans look like they're a top 3 offense in the league. Joe Mixon can't run the ball. His offensive line can't do anything. I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. This is the most disappointing loss of the Texans season so far. I'm not going to mince words. It is the most disappointing loss of the Texans season so far. Will Levis went 18 of 24, 278 yards, and 2 touchdowns. He outplayed C.J. Stroud today. 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, 20 of 33, 247 yards for Stroud. Tony Pollard absolutely shredded this Texans defense. 24 carries, 120 yards, and a touchdown. Calvin Ridley, doesn't matter which AFC South team he's on, he's absolutely been shredding the Texans. And it is just another disappointing game. And people wonder, why can't the city of Houston, why can't these fans trust this team? Why can't we get behind them? Why can't we make this a raucous atmosphere at NRG and absolutely pack out the crowd and have a sold-out stadium? And it's games like this. The Texans let us down. The Texans team didn't come out to play. I think every single person who bought tickets to that game today, honestly, if we're talking real, should get refunded, because the product that was on that field, how this team came out to play, I can count on one hand how many guys came out and were truly ready to play up against the Titans. I think DeMeco Ryan, I think this whole coaching staff, I think this entire team thought, this is going to be a cakewalk. I mean, we're playing the Tennessee Titans. Of course we're a better team. We're just going to go out there and with our fingers up our ass, act like we're the best team in the NFL, even though we've lost 4 games throughout this season so far. Even though we haven't played up to our potential, we're going to go out there and we're going to act like we're the shit. Newsflash, you're not. You're not. You just got your ass kicked by the Tennessee Titans. By the Tennessee Titans. You got your ass kicked. So I want to know from you folks at home. It's going to be the pinned comment on today's show. Be brutally honest. Get in the comment section. If you get hit with the YouTube ad break, perfect timing. Scroll on down and let me know. How do you feel about this team after this game? Be honest with me. Let me know. How do you feel? Because there's not a lot of good to come out from this game. There's a couple guys that I can highlight and say they played really well in this game. But overall, this was a piss-poor effort by the Houston Texans today. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. It is the most infuriating thing watching this team right now. So much talent. C.J. Stroud, a second-year quarterback who played so well that last year. You have Nico Collins. You have Tank Dell. You have Joe Mixon. And this O-line is playing like the weakest unit in the entire National Football League. I don't think they could push my freaking grandma off the line. Drew Scruggs, Jarrett Patterson, Shaq Mason, Titus Howard, Laramie Tunsil. All of you played like absolute dog shit today. I mean, I don't know what does somebody have to say to you? What do you have to do? How many team meetings do we have to have? How many player-only meetings does this team have to freaking get it up here? Because right now, yeah, you're going to win the AFC South. Oh, we're happy because the Colts and the Jags, they look like bad teams. And the Titans, they already have 8 losses. So whoop-de-doo, we're going to make it to the playoffs. Yay, we're going to make it to the playoffs and get bounced in the first freaking round. There's no way this team's making any noise in the playoffs with how we're playing football right now on both sides of the football. I came into this game saying this Texans defense was one of the top units in the league, and they got worked. They got absolutely worked. And you can't say, oh, well, it's because of the turnovers. Jeremy, it's because Stroud turned the ball over, this, that, and the other, and, this, that. You know what? The Titans had turnovers. They had a pick 6. They had multiple fumbles, and this Texans team couldn't find a way to win. Every single player needs to take a long, hard look in the mirror right now, take a look at themselves, and ask themselves, do they want to win? Honestly, do you want to win? The team out there right now does not look like they want to win. Doesn't look like they give a shit. Honestly. Like I said, Danielle Hunter, Will Anderson, they played well. Jimmy Ward had a pick 6. Nico Collins made some things happen whenever he had the ball in his hand, and Stroud made a couple good throws. But overall, this Texans game today showed me one thing and one thing only. They're not nearly as good as we thought they were going to be this year. No, sir. Nuh-uh. No way. This team is not as good as we thought they were going to be. And maybe we have to temper our expectations. Maybe that's on me. Maybe it's my bad for thinking that they could be a contender in the AFC. That's on me, guys. That's on me. I shouldn't have thought highly of this team to begin with. Because they played spineless today. They played like a team that was uninspired and that wasn't ready. And we'll talk about Bobby Sloak. We'll talk about this offense and changes that need to be made. But DeMeco Ryan, I'm looking straight at you in the eyes. Do you really think this Texans team was ready to play today under your watch? Do you think they were ready? No shot. No shot. This team played lackadaisical. After that first return by Dameon Pierce, the touchdown by Kate Stover, you thought the game was over. I forgot an NFL game lasted 2 minutes. Because after that, the Texans sideline, everybody on the Texans field, they were acting like, oh, we won the game. Good job. Good job. Let's pack it up. Everybody head out. Great game. Can't wait for Beyonce on Christmas. You acted like the game was freaking over. We'll get into more stats, more stuff coming up in just a moment. Got to tell you about the sponsor of today's show. That is PrizePicks. Daily fantasy sports made easy. Go check it out today, folks. PrizePicks is the #1 daily fantasy sports app in America with over 5 million active members. Get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money this football season. Which players are going off, which ones aren't? Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long. You can now win up to 100 times your money on PrizePicks with as little as 4 correct picks. You can turn $10 into $1,000. Download the PrizePicks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code CLNS to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Get started today with our sponsor, PrizePicks. The only thing keeping me sane right now is PrizePicks. Thank you so much for sponsoring today's show. Go check it out. That link is going to be in the comment section and description of today's video. Back to this team, man. CJ Stroud, an up and down game. I'm gonna keep it real with you. He played bad today. Is CJ now? I want to clarify this though. Is CJ Stroud bad? No. Is CJ Stroud the guy? Yes, of course he is. He's our guy. I have full faith in CJ Stroud with this team. The guys around him though, this squad, this offensive line, they look like they want to be models instead of offensive linemen. They're more worried about their pregame fits and how they look walking up to NRG Stadium. Look at me, I'm in a ripped t-shirt. How cool do I look? No one gives a shit. This offensive line couldn't block a 5-year-old. And we expect this Texans team to do something in the playoffs. 2.4 yards per carry with Joe Mixon. Every run that he had, no holes. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zero. No push. Nothing along this Texans offensive line. And I called it before the game, things that worried me. This Texans interior up against Jeffrey Simmons and T'Vondre Sweat. Well, T'Vondre Sweat got his first sack in the NFL up against your Houston Texans. Jeffrey Simmons caused mayhem, and you lost the game with CJ Stroud running for his life out of the back of the end zone for a safety. How embarrassing. How embarrassing for Texans fans. For the Texans fans that were there, which, like I said at the top of the show, not sold out at NRG, a home game up against a division rival. I get it, they're 2-8. They're not a good football team. You're telling me you can't sell tickets to this Texans team? I wonder why. People don't believe in this team. People in the back of their minds, they have the hype. They know, oh, wow, yeah, this Texans team, they've got something going. Woohoo, you beat the Cowboys. I mean, and the defense, I don't know what happened today. I don't know who was out there for the Texans, but it wasn't this Texans defense. This is not the defense I remember. The guys up the middle, Tim Settle, Mario Edwards Jr., linebackers, Henry To'oTo'o, Azeez Al-Shire. I don't know who played out there. This must have been an imposter. 4 yards a carry, 33 carries on 132 yards. Like I said, you got 3 turnovers. The offense could not do anything. You let Calvin Ridley beat you. You let 2 easy bomb touchdowns from Will Levis to Chiga Kwankwo and Nick Westbrook-Akini. I mean, you absolutely – it was like watching high school football. We got high school football playoffs right now in the state of Texas. There's a couple teams that actually played a lot better than the Houston Texans did today. Some high school football teams with more discipline, with more will, with more grit than your Texans team does right now because, like I said, there's no shot for this team if this is how we're going to play. There's no shot. They might as well pack it up. They might as well say, hey, whoever the Texans play in the first round of the playoffs, let them take a week off. I have no faith in this team right now and how they're playing. Hopefully they can turn it around. Hopefully DeMeco Ryan's talks to these guys. But like I said, how many team meetings do we have to have, DeMeco? How many players-only meetings do we have to have for us to get it, for us to block, for us to do the simple things right? Not commit dumb penalties. I mean, you have a punt. You miss a field goal, an easy one, which Kaimi, that's another discussion for another day of Kaimi Fairbairn. Yes, he's an amazing kicker, but he's had some bad misses this year, man. And you get a stop against the Titans, 3 and out. You force a punt. You even have a timeout left, man. You force a punt, and what happens? Penalty. And instead of at the 25-yard line, you start at your own, 6-7-yard line. Dumb penalties. This team didn't deserve to win. Neither did they play like they wanted to win. They didn't. And you had your chances. You were up, and you shit away this game. I'm just so upset with how this team is playing right now. I want to have the faith. I want to say that this Texans team is going to give me a jolt and say, hey, we're who you thought we were. We are contenders. This isn't like us. This is just another game. But, I mean, even the games we win, this Texans offensive line doesn't show me anything. I honestly think we need 4 new starters this offseason. Honestly. And that's me being nice on Laramie Tunsil, who leads the league in penalties with 14. Most in the NFL. That's your Pro Bowl left tackle. And then your other guys can't block along the front. So maybe you need an entirely new offensive line. Because these guys are more worried about being divas, being fashion icons, walking into the stadium, than actually working on their blocking technique. Than actually helping out their quarterback and giving him some time in the pocket. And Bobby Slowick, I've defended you this whole year, man. And honestly, the only reason that I'm holding out hope and saying that the Texans shouldn't fire you on the spot right now, because I don't know who takes over the play calling duties, and I don't know if I have faith in them, in Gerard Johnson or maybe Bill Lazor. I don't know, man. The turnaround from Slowick from year to year, maybe it's just we glorified this Texans team, and maybe we had too much faith. Maybe we put too much behind this team, and that's on me. That's on me for having faith in this team and really wanting this team to go above and beyond expectations. But, DeMeco, man, I expected more out of you. I expected more out of this team. I expected more out of this unit. And I don't know what we got to do to get some offensive line help, to make some changes, to get something. I don't know, man. Maybe once Blake Fisher is healthy, maybe you insert him at right tackle and you move some things around because the unit we have right now isn't cutting it. It's not going to cut it. Unless the Texans make some changes going into this week up against Jacksonville and into the bye week, it's going to be another one-and-done season for the Texans like we've seen year after year. Maybe you win the first game, but you get blown out in the divisional round. I don't want to believe that. I don't want to peddle that narrative. I don't want to say that that's the case. But, man, you're making it really hard for me to think otherwise.